Colton Clemens, and this is the Osage Roundup. Today I'm here with the Osage Marching Band. As you can see, there's a lot of trophies here, and they're all from Southern Bend. How would you rate your performance at Southern Bend?
10 out of 10.
11 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, what made it so good?
I think that we're all just really blessed to be able to work with such a good group of kids in our marching band. And not only did the copious amounts of sugar and candy make it, just a wonderful experience, but the students who are in marching band really just have a drive to go out there and succeed. And they come to early morning band and they put in the hard work and the effort that we need to be successful. And that is part of why we came home with 13 trophies from Southern Bend.
And kind of relating off to that, Soboco, this competition that you were talking about, was the last competition. So, like band, we've been working since July in the summer, all throughout band camp and everything, and like you said, early morning band. And so, Soboco being the last competition, we were just ready to go into it, and then we put in our best effort. We came out with 13 trophies, and more than that, just with us being together and being in the band and us working so hard, I felt like that contributed too.
So, what's it take to go to a competition?
Well, definitely a lot of practice, and our directors, Mr. Kyle, Mr. Caps, they know what we're capable of and what they can sign us up for. I feel like that's what they did a really good job this year doing, setting up with some really good competitions for us to go to.
Along with that, we go to 3 competitions every year. Typically, they're different ones. Sometimes we go to the same ones. Our first competition of the season is always Ozarko in Springfield at Missouri State University. And then the next 2 are typically up for grabs from year to year. Our second competition was...
It was Reed Springs.
At Reed Springs High School. And then the last one that we went to, like we said, was at Southern Bend.
So, what's a normal practice look like?
Well, during band camp is during the summer, so it's just a week-long event from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we just work every day. We mainly do a lot of music practice in the afternoon, and then marching practice in the morning because it's cooler. We do a lot of fundamentals. We teach not only the freshmen, but we also refresh the upperclassmen on all the different things we have to do: forward gliding, drag stepping backwards, transition steps, all that. And then we also have early morning band during the school year, which is kind of just a condensed version of band camp every single day for a shorter period of time. But that constant rolling of practice is what makes it.
Band camp is definitely the point in time in which we lay the foundation for everybody in band, whether it be, as he said, the upperclassmen or our incoming freshmen. Because also, as he said, you can still use a refresher, you can still get yourself better, improve different things about your marching style, even as you are a senior. So band camp is really just setting those fundamentals, and it's where we start to teach the music for the show that you're going to be hearing for the rest of the season. So band camp just definitely lays that foundation for how the rest of the year will turn out.
So, what's the hardest part about marching band?
The new freshmen coming in every year, I think it would be the hardest thing. Just getting them used to what all the upperclassmen have done already, getting them just into the groove with everyone. Like, we start 100% from day one and just we keep going, and that what we do in band isn't just about them, it's about all of us together, and just making sure that everyone knows that we can all have a good performance all the way till the end.
I'd also say another hard part about it is just the amount of effort that we put in as students, because marching band is really difficult when you get down into the basis of it and just getting into the nitty-gritty details. It's difficult, and getting students and even ourselves into the mindset of putting in all that effort and how you have to be given 110% all the time to produce a fantastic product is hard as well. And that's, as I said earlier, is one of the reasons why we were so blessed this year with our success at Southern Boone, was because the kids in band this year really were willing to put in that 110% every day. They were willing to come into band camp. They were willing to come into early morning band and get work done.
So what is your guys' favorite part about marching band?
Oh, I don't know, Colton. That's hard. Definitely the copious amounts of sugar. Just getting to I'd say just getting to interact with all different sorts of kids, because marching band doesn't just attract one group of people. They don't just attract the athletes or the people who tend to lean more towards academia. It brings in all people from all walks of life, and just getting to see those people every day and talk to those people is just, I think, a really neat part about marching band and band in general.
Kind of leading off with that, what makes like Osage's marching band special is that, like you said, there's so many different people doing all different sorts of activities, and you get to see how people grow and advance throughout the season, because we're all doing different things, but we can all come together and we can make a great product like our show. And our success is reflected in how people grow, and then it's illuminated when we get good results in our competitions. So that's one of the best things to see, is how people grow and how our success is reflected during each season.
My favorite thing is, like, with kind of both the years combined, is definitely getting to interact with all the new people, like new people like I haven't talked to in like previous years. He's meeting new friends just every year, just getting to socialize and see everyone, working together.
And band competitions are just so much fun. I don't know, it's definitely a different breed of competition. Normally, you have your football games, your cross-country meets, stuff like that, and this is just, you go for entire days. You get to school at 5:30 in the morning and you don't get home till 2 a.m. Sunday morning. I mean, it's just a very neat thing to be a part of.
What would you want somebody that knows nothing about marching band to know?
Well, with Osage, it's not just you sign up for band and that's all you do. It's you sign up for band and you're able to do all these different activities as well, but band is there to like enrich yourself within the high school community. You're learning and you're meeting.
So what were your emotions like when you heard over the intercom your name 13 times?
Ecstatic.
Yeah, that was the exact same word that I was going to say. Yeah.
It's one of those things where, especially with Osage, like we've kind of set up that reputation of, like, we're there to have fun, but like us drum majors personally, we're like representing Osage. So when we're lined up with the other drum majors, we're set, and we're trying to represent our school. We're representing our band. But when you just hear your name even once, it's amazing, because you understand that you were one of the best at that competition, either in that caption or overall. And especially when you hear it 13 times, it gets kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And you're standing there and you're going to accept your awards and you just can't stop smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of the things that I notice. I try to suppress my grin and it just comes back.
Yeah.
And then also when we're standing there accepting our awards in representation of our band, off in the distance, you can just hear every one of them screaming their heads off. And that's just such a good feeling too.
I think my favorite part is after the initial, like, getting the awards and going back to our buses and just seeing how everyone's happy faces and everyone's just like ready. Well, one, ready for the night to be over, but two, ready to finally celebrate with all the seniors and everyone.
it's kind of a tradition that we have at Osage. What he was just explaining, all the band members, we get together at our director's truck, and we all get together, and everyone is screaming their heads off, and they're excited to see all the trophies and everything. And it's a moment where we all come together and we get to just observe all the trophies and the hard work that we've done. We get some motivational words from our directors and like the color guard and percussion coaches and everything. And it's just good to have everyone there to share the same emotion that you're having. So that.
My favorite marching band memory? Oh dear. I don't know, what about you guys?
Honestly, this is definitely a hard question. I mean, every year has got its best points, but I'd probably have to say it'd be our first performance this year. It was first year for me being drum major, just first time seeing everyone out there like ready, game faces on, everyone's ready for our first performance of the season. This is a whole new perspective for everyone. I think that was my favorite.
My favorite season by far has been this season because I get to spend my time with these guys as drum majors, and it's just so much fun.
I really like looking back and seeing how much, like, not personally I've grown, but how the drum major team has grown and how band itself has grown. It's crazy to think just a couple years ago how there were just so many little things that were different back then, and how we've kind of stepped over that, and how we've gotten so much better as a band and as an organization representing our school. And
Out of all these trophies, is there one that has a special place in your heart?
Grand champion. For
Grand
sure.
champion, which is this one right here. As you can tell, it is the lengthiest of all of our trophies here. I think this one just holds a special place in our heart because this grand champion symbolizes that we were the best band out of the entire competition. And this competition has been set up differently than some of the other competitions that we go to. Typically, our competitions are set up to where you march a prelims, a preliminary round, and then if the judges deem you good enough, then you qualify for finals, and then you can march again, and then you get a score based upon that. But this competition was different because there were many different aspects that went into the final decision of who was grand champion and just who won first, second place in the different categories. This competition had a parade, it had your field show that you normally march, and then it had two other aspects of it. It did an indoor percussion show, and then it did an indoor color guard show. So all of these different aspects came together to bring a final score, and the grand champion, I believe, was based upon just the parade and the field show, correct?
Yeah, it was the combined scores.
Right. So the combined show of the parade and the field show went together to bring us grand champion. But in 3 of the 4 categories, we got first place overall, just in general. So, yeah.
to define a little bit out of everyone how you receive grand champion, this competition had classes, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A schools. We were actually we're a 3A school. So grand champion, anybody from any class size could win grand champion. So out of everyone, we beat some schools that were smaller than us, and we also beat a few schools that were larger than us. So that it kind of adds to the momentum of the importance and significance of grand champion, is that we were the best out of everyone. So it's special.